And welcome back. This is our second weekly update. So thank you for joining us and thank you for watching. It's been a second exciting week and we're officially halfway through the daily brick limit challenge now, which is an exciting milestone. This has been a huge challenge for us, and we're going to have my co-sponsor of the challenge, Brickanista, on here in just a second. Let me add her really quick. Any minute now. Thank you for joining. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I hope my camera isn't too shaky. I'm holding it because my phone's almost dead.
Oh,
so I'm
boy.
charging my phone up. Yeah. How
Yeah,
are you?
no, I'm doing fine. I got a whole different setup going on here because I got to charge my phone too at the end of the day.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Welcome to everyone who's
G-O-W
watching.
Grasshopper. How are you? Lady McCass Pants.
Lady
Okay.
McSassy Pants is what that says. Welcome, Lady McSassy Pants. And
McSassy Pants. Okay, thank you.
yeah, we're glad for everyone that's watching. Welcome to Rick Brickham.
Hi.
We're halfway through this thing.
I know. The 14th. It's hard to believe it's already halfway through the month.
Yeah, basically.
Cool, though.
Welcome to Chief Brick Geek and Sack Brick Guy.
Sack Brick Guy. Hey, how are you? And Chief Brick Geek.
It's been
California.
a cool couple of weeks so far. We just passed the 2-week mark. I don't have the most updated, accurate count, but I think that we're either closing in on 100 participants if we haven't passed it at this point.
Yeah, I think one of the discussions that Joriel Builds and I have had is that we currently are tracking 94. However, there's some people who are posting for multiple people. So that's why we think we're actually at 100, or if not over 100, because we have to account for the multiples that are within some posts. So we are tracking that, but it's amazing just seeing just the great response from this and just the creativity and the videos now. We've been seeing videos coming through, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's the animation is happening. The stop motion animation is cool.
Well, both stop motion and just innovative kinds of, well, I saw stop motion. I also saw somebody who just blew an astronaut out of a portal. So he had somebody else holding the camera and he blew the Lego piece out. So that was really cool to see. And
yeah,
I love to see collaborations too. Brick Mussolini, welcome.
And Commodore Kopaka, welcome. And thank you, everybody that's tuning in and watching, whether you're watching today on Instagram or tomorrow on Brickanista's live premiere on her YouTube channel. So hopefully if anybody misses any part of this, you can also catch the live premiere, and we're going to be there as much as possible to answer questions live in the chat box.
Right, exactly.
Just for a couple really quick reminders early on in the video for anybody that's watching this that joined maybe in the last week, just to walk through what some of the requirements are for entry and eligibility into the prize giveaway. Welcome to BrickCov. We're glad that you're here and that you've tuned in.
Oh, hey, Aubrey and family, how are you?
Oh, awesome. Fantastic. We basically all you have to do is tag every post with hashtag brick limit, daily brick limit, because that's how we find your posts. And then also on your very first post, make sure that somewhere you've tagged 3 friends so that we can bring as much creativity into this as possible. Follow the 2 of us, Joriel Builds, myself, and Brickanista, so that we can keep up with each other and at least enter 10 days into the competition. And we're past the 10-day mark at this point. So if you've done at least 1 build every day of the challenge so far, then you're already eligible for one of the 3 prizes we're giving away.
Right. And I also wanted to mention there's a couple people who have been doing renders, which is great because sometimes there might be a piece that you wish you had in your collection, but you don't. And if you wanted to use Studio, I can't remember if it's Studio or Stud.io. You know what I'm talking
clever.
about.
It's Stud.io. Oh, wow.
Yeah, if you want to use that from Bricklink, it's free. I know a few people have been doing that. I see Have Studs Will Travel just joined us. So Have Studs Will Travel is a good example. He's done a couple renders for this challenge, which is great. And also a shout out to Femme from the Block, because she has been doing a stop motion separate from the Daily Brick Limit, but she was so excited about all the builds she did for that stop motion, she filed them with the Brick Limit just to go back a few days. And she didn't have to do that. And it doesn't give her more entries to win, but she just wanted to share. And it's great to see people who you might have made a build and maybe it's 10 pieces and it's already the 15th. And you can say, well, I'm going to post this again, or just for another 10-piece build, just so you can get some comments and feedback, which I think is awesome about this community too.
Yeah. Welcome, Jake Sadovich. Thank you for joining the party.
Hey, Jake.
That's definitely been one of the cool things. We've talked a lot about different strategies people have been using, but someone earlier in the comments, I think it was Grasshopper, was saying, I'm starting to run out of ideas of things to build. Like I've seen a lot of people whose strategy has been, I'm going to add one piece every day. And so every single day, it's the same build with one piece added to it. And look at how one piece can advance the story in this direction, right when you thought it was going this direction. So there's no wrong way to do it. And that has really opened up the doors for people's creativity to shine through. So it's been cool.
And GOW Grasshopper, the other thing I found when I did this back in August is I didn't think about a specific topic. I would just look at my pieces and start assembling them. And then I found some kind of theme would come out of it. And that's part of the reason why we didn't say you have to follow a specific theme, because then you're constraining yourself even more. And you probably noticed I posted the Banana Man sliding down the slide. And I hadn't planned on that. I didn't say I'm going to do this Banana Man sliding down a slide. I just, yeah, that's right. There he is. I found the slide pieces and I had used that in a different mock. And I said it would be kind of fun and playful to do that. And I was inspired by some of you who did videos. And I said, I want to do a boomerang video of some sort. And then I saw the Banana Man. I counted the number of pieces there. I counted the number of pieces on the slide. And that's pretty much how that came about. I didn't plan that at all. That's how your baby Yoda came to be. You slap them, you just slap some Lego together and boom, exactly. And that's how this all works. And the other thing I think we had mentioned at the last time, some people have been posting their first 9 as a grid, and that's really cool and something to think about. No matter how many you do for the 10-piece or 10 entry challenge, is think about what's your top 9 at the end of the month. You're going to be amazed at what you've built this month, and you might pick your top 9 and put that up as a grid.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
I've loved seeing the top 9, just people compiling everything that they've done so far. I've done so much share to story, add to highlights that I can't keep up with all the usernames, but whoever is doing the ongoing adventures of Woodstock from the Peanuts comics.
Oh, that's actually How Studs Will Travel.
Oh, fantastic.
And then Chief Brick Geek is doing the one with the shovel. And every day you're discovering more of the story, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, egg, Baby Yoda.
And then, of course,
Mama's
KK
back.
Bricks, he's doing 2. He's doing his gigantic spaceship, and he's also doing his plant. So you see a lot of people who are continuing the story. And then you have others like myself who just say, here's a sliding Banana Man. There you go. and somebody posted on that it gave them the giggles that day.
Yeah.
And and if it makes you smile and it gives some joy to other people, it doesn't have like I said, my banana. In fact, I think I have it right here. This slide is not that fancy, and I had to put a couple bricks here and a couple bricks down here to stabilize it. And then I haven't used boomerang that much, but because I saw people were doing videos, I just said, hey, what can I do that could be a boomerang that could be kind of fun? So that's how that all came about.
I've also liked seeing some of the common themes, and stop me if I talked about this last time, but some of the common themes that have come up between people, like I've seen 3 or 4 turntable builds, like vinyl record players. And each of them has been different and special in their own way.
Yeah, and what's been interesting is people have been doing this independently on their own, and then they post it, and you see a couple of different themes that have come out, like spaceships, for example. There's a lot of people have been posting spaceships. There's another one of mechanical types of machines, for example, an ice cream machine. And then another one built, I think, a vacuum cleaner. And so you have, and furniture. That's another one that people will post different kinds of furniture. It's great to see some similarities and the innovation that comes out from all this too.
I've seen a lot of cool breakfast builds, but that's just because I'm partial to breakfast myself. And then
Or are you just
also,
hungry?
yeah, that too. But also like all of the little robot characters that have
Yes,
come out of
the
it.
robots too.
Like I've every single day there's like, you go back and look through all of them, and there's a robot on day 3, and then a couple robots happen on day 5, and then another robot happened on day 7, and then 3 robots happen the next few days. And like I just want to take everybody's robot characters and compile them into one Lego robot story.
Maybe, yeah, maybe we can do that at the end of the month. I mean, as we mentioned earlier, for those of you who just joined, we're tracking at roughly 100 builders working on this. 94 individual hashtags that we've been able to track, but there's also some that have been posting multiples for their families. So we are just thrilled by the outpouring of support internationally too, which is fantastic. I think what you were mentioning too, Joriel, is that maybe if we have many of one particular theme, we can group them into like a highlight reel. Like here are the different ones with regard to machines, and here's another one with cars, and here's another one with spaceships. I mean, there's so many different themes that are out there. It's a lot of fun to watch.
And if you that's one thing that we can do, that we will be doing with our daily brick limit account. For anybody that hasn't started following the account yet, that's where we're keeping highlights of everybody's everybody's builds on a daily basis. But it's also something that we're going to keep up throughout the year. So each month, we're still in some preliminary talks, but we're planning on having maybe some holiday theme based brick limit builds, and then also being able to share those highlights, not just highlighting themes like, all right, while we're waiting for the next one to kick off, let's look back at the robot builds, at the breakfast builds, but also getting to highlight some of you guys. Say, for instance, we would take a week and highlight, this week we're looking at Briganista's builds, and then take every week and then feature a different participant on our story to help sort of take your builds that you've been doing and sharing them with other people. So that's one of our goals for the account. So follow at Daily Brick Limit if you don't already. And then also we're going to be having some more challenges on and off throughout the course of the year, even if they're not all big full month long build challenges. So just stay tuned, and anything that we come up with that we do over the course of the year, we'll post through that account.
Exactly. Yeah, I think if we were to do a monthly build challenge every day for the entire year, I know that both Joriel Bills and I would be exhausted trying to track it
Yes.
all.
Okay, but imagine that though, like not just like the day of the month of the calendar, but like all the way from like 1 to 365. Like
Yeah,
that would get
yeah.
so out of hand, because I'm
It would
looking at
be
like, okay, so this set
well,
I haven't put together yet. This is 373 pieces here, so only a few shy of this. So like literally every day, everyone is coming up with their own full-size Lego set by the end of the year, and it's like,
yeah, it has been amazing. And we do encourage all of you to create a highlight reel for your own builds, because that's also a way that you could share it with us, you could share it with other people, and just have them see what you're doing every day of the month. And you probably have noticed yourselves that you weren't surprised about the creativity that came about from some of the ideas. And this is only day 14. Imagine as we get farther in the month. Some people have said it's easier because you have more pieces. Some people say it's overwhelming. So whatever you do, just don't be hard on yourself. Remember, it's only 10 builds of the month. So if you're having a hard time with one day, just, take a break. It's okay. As long as you get 10 in before the end of the month, and then we'll do the drawing.
and if you do, if you are really committed to doing every single day out of the month and you just are having trouble, don't go into a day 23 build with the intent of, I'm going to build something with 23 bricks. go into it with the intent of, I'm going to build a submarine, I'm going to build a zebra, I'm going to build a birthday cake, and then sculpt it over time to reach the number of bricks that you're looking for. But once you get past like the first week, you really just have to build something and then sculpt the vision into the right number of bricks. Because if you focus too much about the number, then it's going to cut you off from just the joy of building an idea that comes to your head. So.
Right, right. We want you to have fun with this. And GOW Grasshopper says, OCD won't let me skip. Well, if it gives you joy, I have a cousin who has OCD, and she has to close the front door 3 times before going to bed. And if she doesn't do it, it gives her anxiety. So that gives her joy. So it's kind of like, okay, go open and close the door, and then we'll see you in a little bit. So if you want to build every day, and as I mentioned earlier, Femme from the Block has been reposting some new builds for previous days of the month. So feel free to do that too. So don't worry about, don't put pressure on yourself. This is supposed to be a joyful activity, and we want to make sure everybody starts the year with a lot of fun.
We were talking earlier about some of the things that we're tracking. Before we shift topics too much, one thing that we have been tracking is where everybody is posting from. And so, we want you to maybe use a hashtag like Lego UK, Lego Australia or something. But I'll also add another poll to my story at some point, just asking, if you haven't responded to this poll yet, where are you posting from? So we can keep track of how many countries are participating. Right now, the last count we got was 6. Switzerland, Australia, UK, US, Portugal, Brazil. So if you are watching right now, Canada, we're at 7. If you're watching right now and you we didn't just list your country, please put it in the comment box, because we are really interested in seeing, what corners of the globe people are sending their builds from.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've been so impressed by everybody. And it also brings me joy, too, just seeing people are having fun. They're looking forward to the next day's build. Some people are plotting them out over the next couple of days. In fact, I have a preview. Can I do my preview before I post it? So remember the banana bowl that showed up on day 5? So I counted this, and I'm pretty sure this is 15. So you'll see the banana bowl meeting the yak.
Yes. Wow. Hey, Remy. Thank you for joining.
Oh, hey, Avernus Workshop. Good to see you.
And that's one of the fun things, is how one build from earlier in the month can inspire and come back again later. Yeah. That's sort of how my build for today was. I realized that Grippy was 7 bricks, which meant that if I just made 2 Grippies, then I could have my day 14 just by making 2 of the same thing. But I was like, I need to make it a little bit different. So how about we make him a character that can go with him and be like his partner? So
that was very sweet. And the fact he repaired her too. Or him.
He fixed her all up. Or it fixed it all up. And I've been really inspired by everybody's stop motion, and I haven't done anything with stop motion with Lego in about 15 years. So I might need hard. It is hard. It's something that clearly takes practice.
And in fact, I wanted to just mention, for all of you who've been spending the time with stop motion and also the videos, I really appreciate you doing that, because I know it takes hours to do that. I did a 20-second animation, which took me 3 hours to do. And then when you start editing with video and or voiceover and other things, it just, it can be a lot of work. But thank you so much for spending that much time on this little brick limit challenge. That's awesome.
That's something we're not cataloging, is the man hours put into this. And if we try to do that, that would be officially too much. But it is a good question.
Yeah, it's been just amazing. And another shout out to Steinman Zachary, who did the astronaut in space, that he took ordinary items around his house, and one of them was a sushi container, like a takeout sushi container that he used for that. And you're starting to think, what else around my house could I use to add to this story? And it's just been a lot of fun. Stop motion is crazy. Hats off whoever does it. Yeah, we've had at least, I think, 3 that have come through. I think 3. I wouldn't be surprised if Femme from the Block is going to do one too. Not that you have to. I'm just saying that I know she loves to do stop motion. So.
if to everyone watching, one of the things we were talking about was, do you sit down and plan out your builds ahead of time, day by day, or do you just take it on a day by day basis? So just let us know in the comments. Are you sitting down and sort of mapping out your week, what you're going to do on what day? Or are you just building stuff and finding what day of the calendar it goes on? Because I know I don't have a straight list, but I do have a notepad file open on my phone that's like, okay, I just built this and this is 28 bricks. I just built this and this is 21 bricks. I just built this, you know? Or are you just sitting down one day after the other and it's like, today is 15, I'll just see what comes to me.
Or if you're like me, you just build and you say, okay, this will be day 15, and you just set it aside on your table. I don't write it down. I just leave it there, and I say, okay, I got 15 covered. So,
Rick Brickham goes day by day.
Day.
Ooh, wow.
You have a bin of garage sale washed Lego that you rummage through. Oh, man. Cool. Yeah. Well, another thing, this was for a different challenge, and somebody had mentioned these are light blue crossbows, and I did this square for the rainbow quilt challenge, and I said these look like, you know, little airplanes flying, you know, from top down. And then I got a lot of people asking, where did those come from? And I got it from a bulk bin, and it looks like it came from a castle series, a chessboard. So, you know, I found that just by reviewing some of your posts, there have been some really interesting pieces that I haven't seen before. One of them, I can't remember the builder's name, but it was a little skull, and he put it on an island, and it was like a discovery of this skull island, and I said, I've never seen that before, and yeah, he said it's been sitting in his collection, and now he's got a chance to use it. So yeah, hats off to all of you.
That's a cool story that it's helping people like get in touch with their interesting bricks. And it's been interesting for me. I've tried to ask in people's comments wherever I could, like, that's a really interesting piece that I didn't know existed. So like, where did you get that from? Same thing, like you answered my question because you got it from a bulk bin, but I'm trying to think about what set would have light blue crossbows in it. Maybe like an elves set or something.
It apparently only appeared in 2 sets. And we figured it out based on the other pieces I have. Here's another cool piece. So don't be surprised if some of these appear in a future one. So this is a special helmet. This was on the pawns of that set. And then this is a horse's like helmet almost. And this was for the knight. And I was also just recounting when we figured out where these came from. I'm a huge fan of chess, and I love the Queen's Gambit that's on right now on Netflix. I don't get any kickback from Netflix. I'm just saying I like it. And I was starting to say I have an old chess set that was made by my dad's friend, who I call my Uncle Brad, and it's made out of airplane parts. It's heavy. It is a steel chessboard with steel parts in it, for, you know, like spark plugs and other things. So I'm going to dig that out. I'm going to set it up. I'm excited about it. So you never know what else is going to spark your creativity.
Jake Sadovich said, mostly day-to-day, but if an idea is bigger, then it gets built in advance on another day that if it works for you, you can tell. If noticed the time of day I post, late evening is built that day. Yeah, that makes sense, because I've had some days where I had to sit down, I'm like, I need something for 12. And then I put something together and I'm like, I can't do this without 13. And then that's 13. But now I still have to build something for 12, like, because it's the 12th right now. And so building in advance helps.
Rick Brickham says, as I'm building, if I come up with an idea where I know I need more bricks, I save it for future dates. So yeah, that's another example of, as you are building, you still have to come up with one for today or whatever day you're working on, unless you're GOW Grasshopper, who will absolutely do every single day of the month. But you have a lot of flexibility here. We don't want to constrain you. And as we mentioned, if you want to go back, you built something you really want to share with people, and it's, 4 bricks, go ahead and repost it and just say, here's another 4 brick one I really wanted to share and get feedback. Because that's the other really cool thing about Instagram, is you can see everybody's posts and make comments to and for each other.
That's actually like Oh, welcome, Steinman Zachary. We're glad that you're here and
Oh,
tuned in.
we just talked about you. We
Yeah,
were
we
just
did.
talking about sushi trays and how we'll never look at a sushi tray the same way again.
Yeah, no, that was a really great photo. So that was really nice. Um, just we don't want to constrain your creativity, but one of the reasons that this particular challenge I think has been working really well for a lot of people is this idea that I'm really into about finding creativity through constraint, and that if you sit down with a totally blank slate with any art form, you might get overwhelmed by the infinity of possibilities. But if you give yourself some sort of a constraint to work within, it can inspire a lot of creativity, which is why I love day one of this. It's like, okay, tell a story with one brick. That's a constraint that causes creativity to come out of it. And if you ever are sitting down and you're like, I have to do something with 20 bricks, but I don't even know where to start, give yourself some sort of constraint like that. Like tonight, I was stumped on 15. So I pulled out the 3-in-1 Mighty Dinosaur set that I did recently. I'm like, okay, I'm going to build something using parts from this. And this was one of the first times I had to be like, I'm just going to start putting bricks together and I'll wait for something to show up. And so it's not finished yet, but I basically started coming up with what looked like a house with a white picket fence.
Oh,
And
nice.
I'm gonna take away the whole like I can only use the Mighty Dinosaurs pieces so that I can use the pieces it takes to finish this. But I was stumped. I didn't have any idea. And if you give yourself some sort of constraint, it might help
Mhm.
push you towards a little bit of discovery in the right direction. So
Yeah.
Grasshopper, it's a great 3-in-1. I loved all three builds. So I think you'll enjoy it.
And
Find some
Rick
way, like,
Brickham.
go ahead.
Yeah, Rick Brickham, don't worry that you missed 2 days because of your daughter's birthday. Absolutely. A happy birthday to your daughter. And
Yes.
you absolutely should be putting your family first before the daily brick limit challenge. And you have already done 10 builds, so don't worry if you miss a couple days. In fact, there's several people who have missed a couple days, but they can always jump in. There's still plenty of time for the rest of the month. So don't beat yourself up about missing a couple days. It's okay. And we planned that before we launched the challenge. We knew that some people, there's just life's going to happen. So don't worry about it. We just love the fact that you're still participating and you're still watching the other builds. You're giving each other feedback. It's fantastic.
Also, remember that by the time we get to 31, I mean, like 31 is about the size of, some poly bags. So by the time you get to
Mhm.
31, we're all going to be working on something that could be more or less a complete poly bag at that point. So, give yourself, I hear this all the time this year and last year, but give yourself grace, and just take it easy and stay creative and let it be fun.
Yeah, and if it's a poly bag, think about it. It's your own gift with purchase. It's your gift to yourself.
Yes.
Actually, it's a gift without purchase.
It's a
So it's
gift.
a
It's a free gift.
GWOP. It's a free gift.
I love it. Um, Before we, run out of time here, which we're doing all right, but do you want to give us an update on the World Builder while we're here
Yeah,
together?
yeah. I'm happy to say it's live. If you
Yay!
go to worldbuilder.tongle.com. So I'm holding my phone, so I can't type right now, but worldbuilder.tongal.com.
I will type
If
it.
you go there, that is where the Super Sewer Baby and the Super Baby Champion League is filed. It's launched today around 3:30 in the afternoon. I think I checked, it should be visible to people. And if you have an account, then you can create something and submit it as a continuation of stories, etc. Right now, I've got most of the characters there. I've got a lot of the Super Baby or Super Sewer Baby vehicles there. We have some of the backstories of the main characters. I still need to post a few more things, but Vermi the Rat is there, the janitor, the brushies, all the four super sewer baby, super swaddle baby, super brainy baby, and super sound baby. They're all there. And it's going to be the start of where we can compile a lot of the stories and put them for people to share. And I'm also happy to say this is real
Yes.
because January 11th, Lego announced that they launched their first collaboration from Lego World Builder on January 11th to a guy, I want to say his name is Jerry Beals, I believe. And he had a story called Holiday Heroes. And Holiday Heroes is now under contract with Lego. So this is similar to Lego Ideas, but it's a way for us to share stories. And I'm the architect of this story, but you might want to architect your own story. Oh, hey, Miss Lobrickta, welcome. Great to see you. And as I mentioned, mine is still kind of, for those of you who've been following the Super Sewer Baby stories, they're not all there, but I had the main characters there and some of the main vehicles, and then there's going to be more added to it. But it is live. We promised it would be live, and I think Joriel Builds also has an announcement too about the music.
Yes, so we're also going live with some music for this world as well. And right now it's on my YouTube channel, which whenever I'm on the Tricky Brick stream, for anyone that's in Tricky Lug, that's my JMW music account. So, you know, there's some Super Swaddle Baby stuff that I've contributed so far, but I'm also adding a little bit of theme music for some of the characters, because this is, I mean, it's truly an opportunity for you to collaborate with other people. So, you know, over the course of this month, if you build a character for Daily Brick Limit that you are really in love with, flesh out its world, use worldbuilder.tongle.com and put your own stories together, find other people to work with. You know, this is a fun outlet for me to contribute what I like to do musically to the world that Brickanista's created. And it's a storyline and a world of characters that's inspirational enough that all of these other collaborators are coming together to try to build it into something bigger. So, you know, definitely everybody give that website, give it a try. Check out the Super Baby Champion League while you're there. And then you can pop over to my YouTube channel, which I'll probably put a link in my Instagram story at some point. But you can also find some theme music for the characters as well. So it's starting to blossom, and it's really cool.
And thank you so much for those of you who've been following the Super Sewer Baby stories and giving me encouragement in addition to Joriel Builds. I really appreciate it because, as you know, I was really on the fence about whether or not to continue with them. And it really means a lot to me. And thank you so much for the hearts, everybody. It's great.
Yes.
And it's still preliminary, but I will be taking the Super Sewer Baby stories that have been going on since May and integrating them into the World Builder. And my hope is, you know, we'll get some, in addition to Joriel Builds his music, that there might be some other things that if people are really good at sketching and doing storyboards and some other things, there's a lot of really good work that can be done from this platform.
If you are watching and you decide to give World Builder a try, please share the links with us, because we're building some community around this challenge right now, and we want to be able to see what you're doing with your stuff too. So please feel free to share. And I think we're a supportive enough community. I don't think you have to worry about your ideas going anywhere. So there's a lot of respect for creators here.
The Brick Cove, Aubrey and family, thank you so much. She says awesome. SSB is one of the best things to come from 2020.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Super Sewer Baby and the Janitor, a lot of fun. Hopefully we helped raise awareness of the different babies in all the lines of the Lego universe. And you'd be surprised what people have come up with. And I don't know if Cornado's on this call, but he came up with Super Casual Dragon Baby as one of the options too, which was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I do remember loving that feeling of suspense whenever Flynn and Richard would be showing one of their slideshows and they'd get to the B section of the alphabet and gradually get through the B section. And I'm like, okay, we're going to get a Super Sewer Baby built in here somewhere. Got to keep watching. It's a good kind of suspense.
I didn't file one this week with Super Sewer Baby because this week's challenge was Hip to Be Square, which was just square builds. But I did do a callback to a previous one. So I don't want to give you a spoiler for what I submitted. But for those of you who've been following the stories, you'll recognize what I built is similar to something I built for a Super Sewer Baby story previously.
And anybody that's new, anybody that's watching that's maybe new to Lego Instagram or maybe doesn't have a Lego community to join in with yet, you absolutely, starting tomorrow, because Fridays are always wonderful days. Super Minecraft, baby. Do it, Remy.
I was going to say, you better jump on that, Remy. Though the only thing I should mention, the Tongle World Builder site, you can't have anything intellectual property related. So Super Minecraft, maybe Super Blockhead Baby or something like that, where you can use the Minecraft figure maybe. Read the
The
rules,
Minecraft
because
parts.
that's another thing. I have to file Super Icy Baby as one of the villains. She's not up there yet, but originally the name of the baby was Ice Baby, and that's too close to Vanilla Ice, so I'm changing it to just Icy Baby. So there's the little tweaks you'll see when you read some of the stories behind the builds. Someone else can have it. It's cool. Okay.
If
Well,
you're, go ahead.
no, I was going to say, if the thing about the one that was accepted by Lego, which is fascinating, if you read the blog post. So if you go to Tongle World Builder, at the very, there's like a scroll area, and there's an announcement about this launch. And they said they had 70 collaborators on this project. So can you imagine that this person started Holiday Heroes, and then all of these different people submitted holidays from around the world of different characters to submit to this. So I was just so excited to hear that it was actually real, because we had heard that they launched this in August. It's been kind of in beta form for a long time, and now somebody's actually really starting a story that Lego is picking up. You do have another one in mind, so I'll look for your guidance. Okay. Well, they're the guidelines of Tongle.com, so worldbuilder.tongle.com. Take a look through the web pages. It'll mention that you have to use intellectual property only owned by Lego. So the babies are perfect because those are owned by Lego. Ninjago, Friends, you can use any combination of those that are not proprietary to another intellectual property. That's why the janitor and the brushies is so perfect, because all of that is owned by Lego. So feel free to take a look.
Before we go, since we're both here still on the call, is there anybody who's watching that has any questions about the challenge, anything you're not sure about, anything you're concerned about, or just anything special you want to share while we're still here with you? I have to remember my hamburger bite. As a teacher, that's something we talk about, is the hamburger bite. You ask a question, and then you take the same amount of time that it would take for you to finish a bite of a hamburger before you move on, because well, first of all, we have to do that now virtually because students need an opportunity to type their questions instead of just raising their hand. But no, it's just something to think about when you're engaging with an audience. Stop and think and listen and see if you can chew a hamburger bite before moving on, just in case there's someone who has a thought to share at the very last second. So.
Right. Well, you can always send us direct messages too. And I know somebody had asked me about, now that I've done 10, do I need to keep building? It's like, no, if you've done 10 and you just want to be entered into the drawing, then you've done everything that you've been required or asked to do for qualifying for the giveaways. But really, this is up to you. If you just want to do the first 10 and you're done and you have other things to do, that's fine. Other people said that they're just the way their makeup is, they have to do every single day or they will not be able to sleep at night. That's okay too. Just realize that the reason why we didn't put a theme out there is because we didn't want to force people to think a certain way when they're building. And as you can see, there's people who are into gardening, there's people who are into buildings, there's people who love space and pirates, whatever it is that you are inspired by. This is what this particular challenge is for. This is for you. Do whatever is going to work for you.
Well, everybody follow the Daily Brick Limit account. Keep up with the highlights. If you see that one of your builds is missing from one of the highlight reels, please message us, because it might have just been that we were overlooked. That led me yesterday, somebody messaged saying, hey, I just wanted to check in. I didn't see this build that I posted today. And it actually made me go back and realize that there were about 7 or 8 builds that I had just scrolled right past on accident and didn't have a chance to share. So that not only helped them get their build out there and helped us keep track, but it also helped 7 or 8 other people get their builds shared on our highlights. So please reach out. Might be a couple of instances if you don't see your build in the highlight reel. There have been only a couple, maybe 2, 3 at the max posts so far where I was like, we're getting into like maybe PG-13 plus territory with, you know, either something in the description or something. And I was just like, since we have, you know, enough young kids that are joining in with the challenge and posting as well and getting really excited about it, you know, we don't want to dampen anybody's creativity. I just may not necessarily share every single post if there's something about the description that's possibly, you know, not something that some of our kid participants can handle.
Right.
But so just keep that in mind. Build whatever you want. Just be careful and reach out to us if you have any questions.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's the struggle of technology. Oh no, I hope we didn't lose Brickanista there. We might have. Anyways, we appreciate you tuning in. If you want to chat with us some more, check out Brickanista's channel on YouTube, and we'll be doing some live Q&A when she does her live premiere of this same video tomorrow. We appreciate everybody that's playing along, and we really look forward to literally every single day seeing how each and every one of you is going to take 16 and put your own spin on it. Take 17 and put your own spin on it. So stay creative, play well, be healthy, be safe, have a good 2021, and we look forward to seeing what you build in the coming week. Tune in again next Thursday with some more updates and some more conversation, and we'll see you around.